Thank you very much for having me this afternoon. My name's Parv Sangera, and I'm here to offer to you why I think being you is so wonderful and how it is the key to unlocking your potential. But before we get going, I have a question for you all. Would you all agree with me if I said that we are all 99.9% identical? Would you agree? No? Well, I can confirm the answer to that is yes, it is true. So examination of human DNA tells us that we are 99.9% the same. So the conclusion is that 0.01% can't account for much of a difference, can it? So if you just help me test out that hypothesis and that assumption, if you were to turn to the person to your left or to your right, would you say that you are seeing a carbon copy of yourself and it's almost like looking in the mirror? Yes? Can't like look in the mirror, right? No, completely not. Of course not. Because even with that 0.01% difference, we are all so wonderfully unique. That 0.01% accounts for the way that our hearts beat, the protein in our hair, our fingerprints. So if we are physically different, why do we spend so much time doing this? Trying to fit in, trying to conform, trying to hide in plain sight. And it's a question that I've reflected on quite a bit when I look back over the course of my life, where I've tried so painfully at times to fit in. Now, some of those times have just been plain embarrassing. So I'm sure we all remember the days of rolling up our school skirt as we got off the bus to fit in with all the cool girls, even though it was uncomfortable and it was unnecessary and it was cold on a winter's morning. But then when you think I'd have matured and I should have known better, there have been way too many times in the workplace where I've also painfully tried to fit in. Whether that's laughing at a joke that I didn't find funny, whether that's holding my opinion back because I didn't want to be seen as disruptive, or whether that's hiding my identity because of the way that I thought it was going to be perceived. There are too many times where I've tried not to be different. And I get why I've done it and why we all do it, because we like to be accepted and we want to be liked, particularly in a room where we look and are very different to everybody else. And to be honest, I didn't see the strength or the value in my 0.01%, and it was an easier path of least resistance. And it also saved others. It saved others from being uncomfortable when I didn't laugh at their joke. It saved others from being offended when I disagreed. And it saved others from noticing my 0.01%. And it also saved me, really. I think it saved me from drawing attention to myself. It saved me from being too courageous. And it saved me from stepping outside of my comfort zone. But what I think it also allowed me to do was to really box in my potential. By putting my effort into locking up my 0.01%, I also, I think, locked up everything that made me being me. So it locked up my lived experiences as a wife, as a mum, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, but it also locked up my creativity, my innovation, my thought process. And to be honest, it's bloody exhausting. It's exhausting playing the game. It's exhausting conforming. And it's exhausting holding back your thoughts, your creativity, your innovation, your flair. And it's exhausting containing your potential. As well as being exhausting for me, what it's also meant that I've not given the best to the businesses or the teams that I've been a part of. And also, when you're a perfectionist like I am, it's pretty unfulfilling to go home at the end of the day knowing and feeling like you haven't given your best, you haven't given your all, you haven't done everything that's within your control and within your potential. So I can't say I woke up one morning with this grand epiphany or an awakening. I don't think I'm as dramatic as that as a person. And whether it's come with time or experience, what I've come to realise is that I am done in looking for the common ground. I am now very firmly on the hunt for uncommon ground. I'm looking for that space for my 0.01% to roam free, because that is where I believe the magic really happens. That is where we have some great conversations, where we share stories, where we help each other, where we innovate, where we debate, where we grow, and where we learn. So, my invitation for you all this evening is to find your own space for your 0.01% to roam free. So whilst it's easier and safer and more comfortable to stay in the same, take a trip and find that space for yourself. I also offer an invite for you all to find and take the time to understand what your 0.01% is, because we all have some fantastic stories, some fantastic lived experiences and backgrounds and perspectives that make you being you so amazing. So when you understand what that is, my offer to you is to jump into that. Jump in to being uncomfortable. Jump in to unlocking your potential. And I can promise you from experience that it is both scary and liberating in equal amounts. So I just leave you with the thought of, I hope you find your 0.01%. I hope you can find the space for you and your 0.01% to roam free and unlock your potential, because after all, who wants to be the same as everyone else anyway? Thank you very much.